Horizon lives in rising steam, waking you from half a dream. Morning slips across the cup, gently pushing shadows up. You inhale the warming air, feel it settle everywhere. Litany begins its climb, soft as breath in brittle time. You recall the night before, heavy footsteps on the floor. Someone asked if life could heal, if their pain was even real. You brewed quietly for them, let them breathe the fragile stem. Now the Brewsteam, rising slow, recites what they couldn't show. Brushes through the door, painting patterns on the floor. Horizon widens across the rim, growing bright, never dim. Litany in golden rise gathers truth behind your eyes. Every wisp that curls and bends feels like hope that never ends. Maybe steam in morning glow knows the things we never show. Maybe rising air at dawn carries all our hurt undone. Brewsteam, horizon, litany, speak for me, tell me who I dare to be. If my strength begins to fall, lift me gently through it all. Every shimmer on the brim sings forgiveness, soft and slim. Litany in drifting white, bring my heart back into light. You tilt the mug and watch it gleam, feels like waking from a dream. Steamline breaks in tender arcs, leaving tiny shining marks. Someone once you deeply loved said your kindness always moved. Horizon now repeats their voice, giving you another choice. You place the cup upon the rail, letting all your tension fail. Litany begins again, filling memories hidden then. Every curve in morning flame writes your heart without your name. Steam ascends in gentle kiss, telling you you're built for this. Maybe dawn's the place we mend, where the quiet turns to friend. Maybe steam that climbs so thin holds the strength you keep within. Litany in rising grace wipes the sorrow from your face. Horizon drawn in silver lift gives your spirit morning shift. Brewsteam, litany, stay near, calm the tremors of my fear. If the hours bruise my soul, help me hold a softer roll. Every curl in sunrise line feels like something close to mine. Horizon humming soft and blue writes a safer place for you. Steam grows faint, but you remain, feeling eased from inner strain. Litany inside the cup keeps you. Lantern waits beside the door, on the floor. Midnight hums a broken tune. Halfway between dusk and moon. Echo rises in the frame, softly whispering your name. Codex born in drifting light starts to write your inward night. You remember crowded hours, all the tired, fragile power. Someone shook with bottled fear. Someone smiled despite the tear. Lantern by the night door kept. Every moment someone wept. Codex now recites their sound, turning ache to something round. You place your hand along the wall, feel the weight of human call. Someone early erased their voice. Someone felt they had no choice. Lantern heard their muted plea, turned it into memory. Echo now in glow and seam, sings their story like a dream. Maybe lanterns keep the truth, hold the things we lost in youth. Maybe Nightdoor's amber cast writes the parts we hold too fast. Nightdoor, lantern, echo, codex, read me slow. Tell me where my shadows go. If tomorrow blinds my sight, hold my heart in gentle light. Every glimmer, faint and small, writes the meaning of it all. Codex humming soft and wide, show the love I hide inside. Face the sun, lantern warmed their trembling chest, gave their sore mind room to rest. Now its echo reappears, carrying their fading fears. Codex in the swirling glow holds the things they couldn't show. You take one breath beside the door, feel yourself a little more. Lantern trembles with the breeze, soft as truth on wounded knees. Every flicker in its span feels like grace you understand. Codex carved in muted gold sings the words you can't withhold. Maybe Codex made of light guides you through the deepest night. Maybe echo stored in flame call you softly by your name. Lantern bends but never falls, hearing all your hidden calls. Nightdoor keeps your fragile part, holding chapters from your heart. Echo, codex, don't depart. Stay a lantern in my heart. If I lose myself again, guide me where the light begins. Every trembling flame you cast burns the sorrow from the past. Lantern humming pure and true, writes a home that leads to you. Lantern dims but doesn't die, holds a spark behind your eye. You unlock the silent door, feel less lonely than before. Codex glowing in its place leaves a warmth upon your face. Nightdoor whispers soft and new, you're enough and always true.
Thin Brewline glows around the brim, soft and fading, faint and dim, like an ember holding on, breathing warmth until it's gone. You cradle it between your hands, feeling something that understands. Testament in amber sweet, wakes the truths you fight to keep. You think back on earlier hours, people drained of inner power. Someone trembled through their pain, someone and tried to rise again. Brewline now reflects their fight, burning low but burning right. Ember whisper on the rim, retell stories growing dim. Come and go, gentle, heavy, soft and slow. Times you faltered, times you won, times you feared you'd come undone. Brewline casts its fading glow on the things you never show. Testament in muted gold, write your worth in lines untold. Maybe embers speak the most when the flame is almost ghost. Quiet blend is the lesson nights extend. Brewline Ember Testament, hold me near, guide me through my quiet fear. If my hope begins to tire, feed it with your gentle fire. Every shimmer faint but true, feels like something pulling through. Testament in whisper flame, burning softly in my name. Tilt the cup, the light shifts slow, casting patterns in its glow. Ember dances flickering small, yet refusing still to fall. Someone once you deeply missed said your kindness can't be dismissed. Brewline sings their words again, helping you remember when the night grows still around your feet. Emptiness in every seed, yet the ember stays alive, telling you still survive. Testament in final gleam, feels like waking from a dream. In the cup's remaining heat, there's a promise bittersweet. Maybe life is built of sparks, flaring bright or fainting arcs. Maybe even dying coals carry weight in weary souls. You inhale the fading light, feel it settle warm and bright. Testament across the brim turns your fear to something slim. Ember whisper, don't fade fast, help me see beyond the past. If tomorrow hits too hard, let your warmth become my guard. Every faint and glowing line says my heart is still divine. Brewline burning soft and true, writes a future born anew. You set the cup upon the sill, watch the embers settle still. Night grows darker yet inside something new begins to rise. Testament in fading hue leaves its courage deep in you.
Windowglow reflects the rain, silver dripping down the pane. Night outside is soft and blue, breathing slowly next to you. You sit down with trembling hands, let the glow fulfill its plans. Serene Chronicle begins, writing through your scattered sins. You recall the afternoon, busy, loud and over soon. Someone clutched their aching chest, someone trusted you to rest. Windowglow absorbs their fear, turning it to something clear. Every shimmer on the glass writes the hurt they had to pass, writes the hurt they had to pass. Your own breath begins to slow, watching raindrops come and go. Some fall quick and disappear, others linger bending near. Chronicle and sliding streams, feels like stitching broken seams. Windowglow reveals your name, wrapped in quiet gentle flame. Maybe windows tell the truth, hidden since your fading youth. Maybe glowing rainy night shows your soul in softer light. Windowglow, serene chronicle, read my mind, show the peace I cannot find. If my voice begins to shake, hold my heart before it breaks. Every droplet in your view feels like something pulling through. Chronicle in muted shine, help my spirit realign. You touch lightly on the pane, feel the cold and feel the rain. Memories you tried to drown, trickle slowly falling down. Someone once you trusted deep, left a wound that wouldn't sleep. Chronicle in watery ink, writes the truth you fear to think. Lanterns hum inside the shop, casting halos in their drop. You breathe in the softened air, feel the glow undo despair. Windowglow in silver hue makes the world seem born anew. Chronicle in trembling light tells you you'll be alright. Maybe calm is never loud, never found within a crowd. Maybe moments soaked in blue are the ones that pull you through. Windowglow along the frame, whisper softly, calls your name. Chronicle in fading gleam, holds you gently in its dream. Serene chronicle, don't dim now, help me find my strength somehow. If the night becomes too real, let your gentleness reveal I am still allowed to heal. Every line of rain and glow moves like truth I need to know. Windowglow in holy tone says I'm safe and not alone. Rain slows down, the glow grows thin, but the calm remains within. You rise slowly from your chair, leaving warmth still in the air. Chronicle in quiet blue walks into the night with you. Counterlamp glows low tonight, painting warmth in fragile light. Soft reflections on the wood hold more meaning than they should. You exhale a quiet sigh, let your heartbeat settle by. Every corner calm and still, feels like time forgot to kill. You think back to afternoon, busy voices out of tune, orders piling, nerves undone, people running just to run. But the counterlamp remembers every spark and dying ember. Now its glow begins to draft thoughts that drift like quiet craft. Someone cried behind the till, hands unsteady, voice gone still. You just passed a cup of tea, let them rest and simply be. Lamplight now rewrites their fear, turning shadow into clear draft across the counter seam. Shows a depth they couldn't scream. Maybe lamps in silent rooms draw our grief in gentle plumes. Maybe low and steady light teaches us to heal at night. Counterlamp, quiet drive, carry me, shape the truth I cannot see. If my chest begins to shake, help me breathe before I break. Every shimmer warm and slow marks the steps I didn't know. Draft in yellow, soft and kind, write the peace I cannot find. You wipe down the wooden bar, listen to the quiet far. Lamplight dances on your sleeve like it asks you not to leave. Draft of thoughts you kept inside rises warm against your pride. Every swirl beneath the shade traces choices that you made. You recall a friend long gone, someone you relied upon. Lamp reflects a memory, small but bright enough to see. Draft begins to sketch their face in a soft, forgiving place. Their old laughter in the gleam feels like breathing out a dream. Maybe healing isn't loud, not a shout above the crowd. Maybe it's a muttered note rising from a weary throat. Counterlamp in fading glow seems to tell you take it slow. Draft of gold along the grain washes out the hidden pain. Counterlamp, don't fade away, guide me through the end of day. If my voice gets lost again, lead me where the warmth begins. Every curve of softened light helps me learn I'll be alright. Draft that glows along the wood, tell me I have still done good. You turn off the switch at last, letting go of all that passed. Even when the lamp grows dark, draft still leaves a glowing mark as you walk into the night. You still feel its gentle light. Rain lines cling along the pane, sliding slow like threads of pain. You sit watching people pass, shadows bending through the glass window. In muted blue, feels like it's been waiting to. Memo written drop by drop, tells you things you never stop. Someone earlier took this seat, shoes worn down and soaked with heat. They just stared into the rain, trying hard to breathe again. You just placed a drink nearby, let them rest instead of cry. Rainline now retells their name in a quiet, trembling frame. You remember other nights full of noise and neon lights. Times you hid behind a smile, times you walked the extra mile. Windowedge collects your past in reflections overcast. Memo forms in silver trails, soft as breath that softly pales. Maybe rain remembers all, every rise and every fall. Maybe water on the glass writes the truth as moments pass. Windowedge, Rainline, Memo, speak to me. Tell me who I'm meant to be. If my hope begins to fade, shape my heart in lighter shade. Every droplet thin and clear feels like courage drawing near. Memo drifting soft and true, says the sky remembers you. You lift your cup and let it steam, warmth returning in a stream. Outside, headlights smear like ink, making space for you to think. Rainline curves begin to twist, forming words the sky insists. Memo says you still remain, even through unspoken pain. Someone once you trusted deep left a scar you couldn't keep. Raylay now writes their memory, turning grief to clarity. Windowedge becomes a page where you set aside your age. Memo shining through the blur, hints at who you really were. Maybe storms don't only break, sometimes they're what help you wake. Maybe lines along the frame call you softly by your name. Rainline hums against the light, painting strength in quiet night. Memo drifts in steady flow, saying there is room to grow. Rainline, Memo, don't erase, stay with me in this small place. If tomorrow weighs too much, let your softness be my crutch. Every streak in gentle gray marks the storms I've lived today. Memo lingering in hue says I'm stronger than I knew. Rain begins to thin away, but its words decide to stay. Windowedge in fading tone tells me I'm not left alone. As I rise and leave my chair, I still feel the memo there. Brewmist curls into the air, soft like someone's quiet prayer. Lantern overhead burns low, casting warmth and gentle glow. You stand near the wooden rack, let your breathing settle back. In the mist a script begins, writing secrets lost as winds. You recall the evening hour, faces dim with fading power. Someone trembling held their cup, trying hard to hold things up. You just listened, offered space, settled fear with steady pace. Now the lantern's yellow gleam tells their story through the steam. Mist begins to bend and rise, drawing shapes before your eyes. Lines appear like handwritten notes, hidden deep in people's throats. Every swirl of lifted white feels like someone finding light. Script becomes a gentle hymn, built of truths kept faint and slim. Maybe steam remembers pain, holds it in a glowing chain. Maybe lanterns light the part, buried deep inside the heart. Brewmist lantern script, speak for me, tell me who I'm meant to be. If my courage starts to fade, set it right in lines you made. Every wisp in golden air feels like something holding care. Script that rises soft and free, write the better part of me. trace shapes that come and go. Letters forming soft and slow. Some remind you where you've been. Some reveal forgotten sin. Lantern flickers as you stare, painting hope through thinning air. Script engraves a quiet claim. You have worth beyond your shame. You remember someone dear, voice you haven't heard in years. Lantern light revives their sound, warm and low, profound, unbound. Mystery tells the words they gave. You are someone you can save. You inhale the softened note, feel it settle in your throat. Maybe life is text unseen, written where the world grows clean. Maybe steam that climbs the beam holds the map you couldn't dream. Lantern glows in fading tone, telling you you're not alone. Script that shivers in the blue feels like something guiding you. Brewmist script, don't vanish yet. Let me breathe without regret. If the morning steals my peace, write a line that grants release. Every drift in lantern light makes my broken pieces right. Script that lingers still and true says I'm more than what I do. Mist grows thin, the cup grows cold, but the script's already told. Lantern dims, but still you feel something shifting, something real. You switch off the cafe glow, carry all the lines you know. Script remains in gentle seam, following you through the dream. Cup taps softly on the stair, lonely sound in quiet air. Backroom shadows hug the wall, listening to the echo fall. You set the mug on concrete ground, hear its hollow ringing sound. In that echo, dim and bright, something stirs inside the night. You sit down a step or two, let the evening breathe with you. Every tap becomes a beat, like a heart beneath your feet. Echo forms a trembling line, turning memory into rhyme. Everything you tried to hide comes to sit there by your side. You recall a younger day, dreams you let get dragged away. Echo rings in narrow space, bringing back a fragile face. Someone once stood here with you, shared their fears in quiet blue. Now the stairwell, cold and bare, holds the ghost of what was there. Maybe echoes in the dark carry more than just a mark. Maybe every ringing tone finds the truth you left alone. Stairwell cup, echo verse, sing again. Bring me back to who I've been. If my voice begins to shake, let your rhythm keep me awake. Every chime on concrete gray writes the steps I've lost today. Echo rising soft but clear, tell me why I ended here. You lift the cup and place it back, hear the hollow subtle crack. Echo travels down the hall, answering your inner call. Some lines bounce and never fade, some fall short of what you made, but the verse says you don't have to walk alone. You remember words unsaid, thoughts you carried in your head. Echo rings those broken parts, stitching slowly through your heart. Stairwell air grows warm and full, pulling gently at your skull. Veils build slowly in the seam, like a piece of waking dream. Maybe sound in quiet rooms heals the places sorrow blooms. Maybe every empty stare holds a voice already there. Cup in concrete sound at night, wrap your doubt in soft delight. Echo writes a fragile guide, leading you to choose your side. Echo verse don't fade away, let me breathe another day. If I lose my sense of place, fill the hollow with your grace. Every hum across the floor says I'm worth a little more. Cup that trembles in my hand helps my shaken heart to stand. You pick up the cup once more, climb toward the back room door. Echo lingers in the air, following you everywhere. Verse that rang in quiet blue stays behind, but lives in you.
Dawn leans through the window glass, slowly letting colors pass. Soft reflection on your cup wakes the feelings climbing up. Latte rests in gentle steam, like the opening of a dream. Chronicle begins to rise, painting truth beneath your eyes. Tiring night, voices sharp and weary bright. Someone trembled at the bar, saying life had gone too far. You just passed a cup their way, hoping warmth would let them stay. Now the sunlight on the foam writes the story they call home. Dawnpane glows in fading gold, telling tales you never told. Steamline curves along the rim, turning memories soft and dim. Chronicle in swirling cream feels like stitching up a seam. Every circle pale and white sings the peace you hold inside. Maybe dawn rewrites the pain, cleans it in a brighter vein. Maybe morning's gentle air reminds you why you choose to care. Dawnpane latte, chronicle right for me. Tell the truth I need to see. If my heart forgets its worth, guide me softly into birth. Every swirling golden shade marks the progress that I've made. Chronicle in easing hue says there's space to start anew. You raise the cup and let it warm. Hands still tired from yesterday's storm. Foam line wavers as you tilt, lifting pieces of your guilt. Someone once you loved so much, left without a final touch. Yet the latte's glowing crest says your heart can still find rest. Sun climbs higher through the store, lighting up the wooden floor. Chronicle in quiet loop scoops you from your downward swoop. Every soft and drifting note falls like calm inside your throat. Latte's warmth and morning shine tell you you're allowed to climb. Maybe healing slow and thin, not a victory you win. Maybe dawn is patient light, gathering shadows through the night. Chronicle in frothy streams writes the promise of your dreams. Gentle script in muted gold says you're braver than you've told. Latte chronicle, don't fade, help me see the path I've made. If tomorrow feels too hard, let your warmth become my guard. Every ring upon the brim sings a quiet morning hymn. Chronicle in sunrise blue breathes a kinder day into view. Foam line settles, cup grows bare, but the dawn still fills the air as you rise to start the day. Latte's story leads the way. Chronicle in softened tone walks with you when you're alone. Evening settles on the roof, silent air without a proof. City lights beneath your feet, pulsing low, impatient beat. Warm mug resting in your palm spreads a fragile sense of calm. Horizon stretches violet blue, drafting shapes of something new. You lean back against the rail, let your busy heartbeat fail. Someone earlier in the day said they lost their only way. You brew tea and hug the heat, let them breathe in their retreat. Now the skyline, soft draft line, writes their hope alongside mine. Steam escapes into the breeze, curling, bending, seeking knees. Draft begins across the sky, sketching where your fears lie. Some lines thick with memory, others faint as they can be. Yet the mug in warming glow says you're stronger than you know. Maybe rooftops hold a view of the truths you never knew. Maybe dusk in fading gold tells you what your hands still hold. Rooftop mug, horizon draft, write it clear, draw a world without my fear. If I'm scared to take a chance, help my trembling heart advance. Every swirling, cooling air feels like someone saying dare. Draft in colors dusk is cast, says the future's not your past. You sip slow and close your eyes, letting thoughts begin to rise. Things you've hidden deep inside, things you tried so hard to hide. Mug grows lighter in your hands, yet it helps your spirit stand. Draft across the glowing blue says your dreams still live in you. Someone once you trusted deep left you on a winding steep. Rooftop silence brings them back, but not in the painful track. Draft reframes their fading role, takes the pressure off your soul. Horizon shades in muted gray, let their shadow drift away. Maybe life is sketched in haste, lines misplaced and moments chased. Maybe mug and sky tonight give you room to make it right. Draft in color wide and thin marks the courage deep within. Even if the page turns rough, you are still more than enough. Horizon draft, don't disappear, guide me through another year. If tomorrow shakes my core, show me thoughts renew, draw a kinder path for you. Mug grows empty, stars come out, silence in your inner doubt. You descend the stairs at last, leaving fear in evening's past, drafting sky and gentle tone follows you back home alone.
Nightshift folds itself away, leaving ghosts of worn-out day. You stare down into your cup, watch the Tealine lifting up, thin and fragile on the rim, fading slow, becoming dim. Addendum to the night's long tale, soft as breath that will not fail. You recall the crowded hours, people drained of inner power. Someone whispered, I'm not fine, tracing cracks along their spine. You just nodded, poured them tea, let them breathe and simply be. Now the line inside the cup writes the grief they bottled up. Tealine curves in subtle waves, marking things the daylight saves. All the moments lost in rush, all the breaks beneath the hush. Addendum forms in fading stain, telling you their hidden pain. Every bend of quiet brown feels like lifting someone's crown. Maybe lines in cups of night hold the stories out of sight. Maybe little marks we keep guard the hearts that couldn't sleep. Nightshift, Tealine, Addendum, stay with me. Tell me who I'm meant to be. If my kindness feels too small, show the weight I gave it all. Every ring in quiet shade writes the difference that I made. Addendum soft along the brim sings my worth in muted hymn. You swirl the cup and watch it slide, letting sorrow step aside. Tealine shifts in looping arc, drawing hope within the dark. Someone once who meant the most left their echo, left their ghost. Addendum now in trembling shape says your heart can still escape. Lanterns dim across the bar, shining faint like distant stars. Yet the cup in your two hands quietly still understands. Tealine writes a final note, you survived in subtle coat. Addendum glows in amber skin, tells you life still flows within. Maybe endings aren't so sharp, maybe chords don't always harp. Sometimes truth is whisper thin, found in where the lines begin. Tealine humming near the bass stills the chaos you can't chase. Addendum in its fading hue shows the night had room for you. Tealine, Addendum, hold my fear, tell me why I'm still here. If tomorrow feels too steep, sing me something I can keep. Every mark in swirling brown keeps my trembling spirit down. Addendum gentle, soft and true, says my heart still follows through. Cup is empty, shift is done, but the addendum's just begun. You turn off the lights and leave.
Lanterncurve leans on the wall, casting warmth that doesn't fall, soft and gold along your sleeve, whispers reasons not to leave. You rest elbows on the bar, listening to the faint guitar. Solace rises in the air, pulling you from subtle despair. Today left its heavy mark, moments bright and moments dark. Someone sobbed into their drink, saying they were scared to think. You just nodded, stayed nearby, let their trembling slowly dry. Lanterncurve in quiet bend writes the solace you extend. Steam drifts upward in a wave, lighting truths you couldn't save. Yet the lantern's gentle arc finds a spark inside the dark. Draft of comfort fills the room, softly sweeping out the gloom. Every flicker loose and free feels like breathing more easily. Maybe solace isn't loud, not a shout above a crowd. Maybe lantern's faded cast shows what healing looks like last. Lanterncurve, solace draft, warm my chest. Tell me I have done my best. If I feel I'm not enough, light me through the nighttime rough. Every thread of glowing haze writes the grace of hidden days. Draft unfolding soft and slow teaches me the way to go. Wipe down the counter's grain, watching shadows slowly drain. Lantern bends its shining line, tracing places you resign, memories you tucked away. Step into the muted gray, draft begins to cradle them, heal the parts too weak to mend. You think of someone from before, someone you don't see anymore. Lanterncurve revives their voice, softly giving you a choice. Keep the sorrow locked inside, or forgive what never died. Draft of solace through the light tells you both can still be right. Maybe comfort's found in curves, not in lessons someone serves. Maybe glow around the glass lets your wounded pulse relax. Lanterncurve in amber tone says you never stood alone. Draft of solace forming true rights, a gentler view of you. Solace draft don't fade away, guide me through the end of day. If tomorrow weighs my breath, keep me steady in its depth. Every sweep of lantern's glow lifts the ache I never show. Draft that warms the final shift, giving quiet hearts a lift. Lantern dims beliefs behind, soften corners of your mind. Draft remains inside your chest, telling you to take your rest. As you close the cafe door, you don't fear the dark as before. Solace glows in fading craft, written by the lantern's draft.
Steamloop rises from the cup, curling slow then climbing up. Every circle warm and bright harbors pieces of the night. You sit back and breathe it in, letting calm replace the din. Harbour verse begins to die, loose emotions passing by. Someone earlier felt alone, voice like half-forgotten tone. They just stared into the floor, said they couldn't try anymore. You brewed something warm and mild, listen like a patient child. Steamloop now recalls their ache, turns it into verse. You make your own thoughts drift in the haze, floating back to distant days. All the times you feared to speak, all the months you felt too weak. Steamloop wraps around your chest, holding pain you can't confess. Harbour verse in swirling loop, cradles you in gentle swoop. Maybe steam is where we rest when the world feels too compressed. Maybe looping warmth in air anchors hearts too lost to care. Steamloop harbour verse, read my mind, show me strength I couldn't find. If my pulse begins to shake, anchor me before I break. Every curl in muted glow tells me what I need to know. Harbour verse in drifting seam guides me softly through the dream. You hold the cup with steady hands, let the moment make demands. Steamloop twists into the light, shining soft but burning bright. Harbour pulls your doubts aside, places truth where they can hide. Verse that lingers on the rim, feels like something born from him. Lanterns hum across the walls, echo soft through silent halls. Steamloop forms a gentle ring, teaching you a quiet thing. Even when you lose your place, you can choose a different pace. Harbour verse along the line says your worth is still divine. Maybe healing's not a race, maybe rest is still a place. Steamloop draws a tender chart, mapping out your fragile heart. Curling lines in silver mark the things that still repair. Harbour verse in misty tone shows the path back to your own. Steamloop verse, don't drift away, hold me through the closing day. If tomorrow bends my will, anchor me in stillness still. Every loop and fading stream feels like staying in a dream. Harbour verse in waning blue sings the softer side of you. Cup grows colder in your hand, yet the verse still helps you stand. Steamloop fading near the door leaves its wisdom on your floor. Harbour light and silent breath guides you past your inner depth. Furs remains within your chest, carrying you towards your rest. Nightsteam rises from the cup, pulling silent stories up, layers shifting through the air. Parallax beyond compare, you lean forward just to see what the steam is telling thee. Draft of thoughts you can outrun forms beneath the midnight sun. Someone earlier in the day had too much they couldn't say, breathing heavy, trembling low, searching for a place to go. Nightsteam now reveals their fear, drawing patterns soft and clear. Parallax in Exhale and close your eyes, letting feelings reorganize. Things you pushed into the dust rise again with gentle trust. Nightsteam builds a shifting frame, showing pieces of your name, drafting overlapping shades. Sings the moves your heart has made. Maybe steam in layered bands holds the things one understands. Maybe parallax tonight makes your shadows feel alright. Nightsteam, parallax draft, hold me tight. Guide my breathing through the night. If my doubts begin to grow, show me where I need to go. Every layer pale and true, feels like seeing something new. Draft that lifts in silver glass, leads me gently through the loss. You remember distant years, full of voices, full of fears. Times you wanted to be free, times you fought your history. Nightsteam rises calm and slow, painting where you learn to grow. Parallax and glow and seam, feels like slipping into dream. Lantern hums above your head, casting gold where steam has spread. Draft begins another arc, highlighting your softer mark. Every curl that leaves a cup lifts your heartbeat further up. Nightsteam whispers in its flow. You've survived more than you know. Maybe truth comes thin and slight, not in moments big and bright. Maybe parallax in air tells you why your soul still cares. Steamline turning in its climb, writes the truth in subtle rhyme, that the hurt you never claimed still deserves to be renamed. Nightsteam, draft don't slip away, help me face another day. If tomorrow dulls my grace, let your layers hold my place. Every shift in muted blue feels like something breaking through. Parallax and final lift gives my tired spirit gift. Steam grows thin, the mud grows cold, but the draft has all been told. You stand slowly from your seat, feel your pulse in steady beat. Nightsteam drifting through the air leaves you lying